Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Mr.BuyTheDip back here with another video. I want to talk to y'all about QQQ, alright? It's currently raining at 9:02 p.m. I want to go home, but I want to make this video real quick and spill the information that y'all need to know. And I'm fascinated by this, and I want to talk to y'all about QQQ compared to this S&P 500. And let's talk numbers, alright? So, what is QQQ? It's an exchange-traded fund. If we look at my portfolio, I currently have S&P 500 that I own. This is an ETF as well. This is a basket of stocks. Let's keep it as simple as possible, all right? When you invest in an ETF, it is basically a basket of stocks. I'm investing in multiple stocks at once. So if you don't have enough money to invest in Apple, Microsoft, I want you to take $300, $200 monthly and just put it into the S&P 500. This is something I told myself, all right? Now, let's say you get a return of 8 to 10% yearly on the QQQ or S&P 500. That is good, easy money. But that's not enough. You want to keep adding that and keep a rotation of that for 8 years. Let's talk about the QQQ in specific. Now, the difference of the QQQ to S&P 500 is the QQQ is more tech heavy. Now, I want y'all to realize why I love tech stocks, why I love the semiconductor industry, why do I love AI? Well, the money is in this like crazy. If you look at NVIDIA, I want y'all to look at the weekly statistics, all right? So the lowest we went was 157. The highest we went this week was 167. $10 move on shares. 157 plus $10 is 167. I want y'all to see how volatile this is, okay? But I also want y'all to see how much money you can make in the matter of weeks. 143, 145 is not somewhere I was in the stock. I want y'all to see that I was buying all the way down here, and I sold NVIDIA right here at 135. My average cost was about 129, 128. So if I would have held this, I would have made so much more money. But that's a whole different story, a whole different other topic, right? I wanted to shift my focus on AMD. But here y'all see how powerful AI is. And a company like NVIDIA, where they are ahead of their competitors, they can outscale and price their products 10x, 20x, and they can sell those for that much to Microsoft, to Apple, to anybody else that needs those products. And what is that going to do for QQQ since it's tech heavy? It's going to make QQQ explode. As simple as that. All right. Now, when we talk about historical performance, this is very important. When I'm looking at a stock to invest in, I want to see how much cash flow do you have. All right. What is your operating margin? How many, how many bills are you paying? Are you in debt? Are you able to hold cash after your expenses? That is the most important thing. Now, that takes a lot of planning and stuff. So if you don't have that time, all you got is $300, $400 a month that you can set aside to invest in one ETF. I would do it in this ETF. All right. Because we have in 10 to 15 years, an average return of 13 to 14%. Annual average return of 13 to 14%. So what this means is in 1 year, I'm making 13 to 14%. Now, I want y'all to see something. Since I was talking about tech stocks, semiconductors, how powerful they are, I want y'all to look at my position in AMD. I'm about 6 months into the year, and I have 20.45% back on my money. So I have already beat the AMD, the QQQ and the S&P 500 for the year. I've already accomplished my goal of beating. The goal is to beat the stock market. And the stock market gives you a return of 13 to 15%. What is ETFs? What is the S&P 500? It's a big basket of the stock market. I want y'all to look at the S&P 500 because all these stocks are averaged down or are into the S&P 500. You got 12% of Walmart, 10% of NVIDIA, 13% of some random stock. All of that is basically what an ETF is. So if you can beat that amount and get 20.45%, that is a good investment. This is a sell right now, but I'm going to hold it. Okay, so let's go back to the QQQ, and we're going to talk about how I think this is a great ETF to invest in. Again, it outperformed the S&P 500 during this time, especially in growth led by tech. And as far as I can look into the future, as far as I can look into AI is still very new. Like cyber, the cyber stuff is still fairly very, very new. When you look at cybersecurity as an industry, you look at Okta. Okta is another one of those stocks that I was eyeing and I was looking forward to buy. If you look at this stock, this went to $122. $126, $122, and I wanted to buy in around this time right here. So obviously I never got the opportunity, but I want y'all to see how profit taking works. Because if you don't take profit, sooner or later, it takes one news, one earnings report, there goes your portfolio, right? So again, the tech industry is still very, very competitive, and it's new. So you can make a lot of money within the matter of weeks to months in the QQQ, or in the AMD, Nvidia, or in Okta, or in TSM. So when I'm talking about it outperformed the S&P 500, I'm saying it has done better last 10 to 15 years, and I'm going strictly off of numbers. The risk level is a little more though. But if you want to make more money, you got to put more money down, and you got to be able to tolerate a little bit more risk. I'm not saying dump your life savings in this, but do realize that QQQ is not as diversified compared to the S&P 500. As simple as that. It is not as, you look at the S&P 500, you're looking at more diversification than the QQQ. Now, if I'm looking at the QQQ, I'm looking at less diversification, but more return. So you pick and choose what you want to do. And if you're a younger guy, if you got more money you can work with, and you got more money and more time to make that money back, I will go with the QQQ 9 times out of 10. Now, if I'm 30, 32 and my QQQ portfolio has been dumped, I'm going to take most of my money, start moving over to, S&P 500, Vanguard, all that other stuff. But if my investment is done perfectly fine in 10 years and I've been loading the QQQ, I will keep loading that thing up, right? So just realize what you're getting yourself into. Now, expect volatility. When we talk about numbers, you cannot be too emotional. $300 should be nothing to you. This should be extra money that you can just throw in this ETF. Now, if 300 means $50 to you, let that be $50 to you. What I mean by that is you need to risk what you can tolerate. Because if you're putting your life savings into this, if $10,000 is all you got and all you're putting down is $10,000, I'm going to pray for you, because it's going to be a long, volatile ride. I want y'all to look at April. This year, April was a crazy month. Tariffs got announced. I want y'all to look at this. We literally broke support level started this year of $439 and went all the way down to $423. A lot of people probably panic sold, right? But this is where you look at this as a buying opportunity, or you literally look at this and let your portfolio be, because that money really doesn't mean that much. You have more money in the savings. So always risk what you can afford. Do not risk more than what you can't afford, and then it's 3 a.m. and you're panicking and you got tears coming down your eyes looking at your portfolio. That's not something you want to do. So $300 a month is something I would be comfortable with, or something, let's say you're comfortable with risking. Monthly, I'm talking $300 for the next 8 years. That is $28,000. So $28.8K is going to be invested, and you will get back $44.8K. After taxes, you have about $40,000 $40,000 total value, and the profit is $11K in 8 years. Now, the goal should always be to find side hustles, get more money so you can invest in the market. And this is a long-term investment. I want y'all to realize QQQ is a long-term investment. If you're looking to swing trade, if you're looking to day trade, if you're looking to, just flip short crypto investments, that is not being considered. And I will highly consider you spend your time learning how to swing trade, spend your time learning how to day trade. This is strictly a long-term investment that can keep your money secure. Whether that's $200 a month, whether that's $150 a month, I'm saying this is what is going to keep your money secured, what is going to keep my money secured. So I'm looking at it from my perspective. What amount of money is safe for me to throw into this stock for the next 8 to 10 years? I will say $300, $400. And that's extra income. And I do realize buying power. So if you have more money, you're going to get more money back. If I put in $1 for the next 10 years, I'm not going to get nothing back, right? I might get, $200, $300 back, if that, right? So the power of being able to have capital and investing that capital, get more money back, is very, very important. So if you don't have money, first of all, you need to be good with savings. Then look into proportioning that money that you have saved to invest. And while you're doing that, just learn. Look up YouTube videos. What you're doing right now is a perfect example. I have a goal of committing $400 for at least 3 years and sharing that with y'all. And that's going to be on a different platform that I'm going to talk about later on. But that $400 in 3 years is something I'm gonna make a video on very, very soon, starting this year. In about a few months, I'm gonna put my foot down and make the video, talk to y'all about it. In 3 years, I want at least 30 to 35% back on my money, and I'm gonna be swing trading. I'm gonna be having midterm investments while I got $400 loading up each month into the QQQ. That is going to be the best financial move I think I'm ever going to make. So me producing this video and making this video to share something with y'all and showing the numbers, I think that's going to be helpful. If you have any comments, questions, please let me know down in the comments below. I hope this was helpful. I hope I talked more about, how this is not the best investment compared to diversification, but it does have a lot of money that you can get in return.